Welcome, everybody, to the XoneBros. This is your positive gaming and Xbox community. And this is our last episode of the year, everybody. Our last one of the year, our last one of 2024. It's been a big year. A lot has happened. A lot of games have been played. And, oh, thank you. And we're my headphones was having issues. It might be my headphones, so we're about to find out if it was my headphones or not. 2 seconds. I'm plugging in. It's not my headphones.
Okay, there's something on it. Okay, I'll figure it out. Keep going.
Anyways, what was I going to say? Oh, Game Awards has happened.
Yeah, last week.
Toward the man.
Bit long for my taste, and
long,
a bit
long
wrong.
in the tooth.
Bit long
There
and
was
a bit
no.
wrong.
I will say this. I was surprised at the lack of. So we were hearing coming up to the Game Awards that, not to get your expectations high, Xbox was going to save some of their big stuff for their own show,
Which I think,
it's the new way forward for sure.
Yeah, for a lot
but
of
we
studios.
really didn't get. I mean, we got some cool trailers. Most were third party. Nothing huge from Xbox though. Outer Worlds 2 we got to see.
Yeah, a little bit more trailer on that.
But that's NBD in my opinion, because it's not like it's like, oh cool, more of Outer Worlds, which is awesome, but it's not. I wanted something new, man.
Yeah, yeah.
What else did we get? I think the biggest talk. I thought we would get Grand Theft Auto.
I did. I think that's what a lot of people were like.
Yeah.
Oh, we hope we get Grand Theft, because Grand Theft Auto is supposed to come out end of next year, I would assume.
Here's the thing, though. In watching the Game Awards and going through all of it, I think there's no real incentive. The Game Awards is kind of in a tricky spot. There's no real incentive. It's okay if I can't hear Mark. I could go.
You're good. Keep going.
Okay. The Game Awards is in a tricky spot because if you think about it, there's no real incentive for a Rockstar or
Well,
a Microsoft or a Sony.
Rockstar's a very interesting developer to bring up, because they what did they do when the first trailer dropped? They basically copyrighted everybody, and then their page shot up. They got the most views because they copyrighted everybody or what. So Rockstar's,
They crushed me.
They're
I was out in the trailer was 3 minutes long.
Yeah, weren't you?
I was out 4 minutes later.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, it was they were. And then what they did is they waited 2 or 3 days for their numbers on their official trailer to go high, and then they let everybody else.
But what I'm saying is, there's no incentive, or this is where the Game Awards is in a tricky spot. There's no incentive for these big publishers to show off their biggest titles and make the most news. Why? Because let's say you're
narrative,
Xbox,
right?
and you drop Fable during the Game Awards, and then some dipshit gets up and gives a speech later on in the awards that causes all this controversy, or a game wins the Game Awards, the Game of the Year award, that causes all this controversy, then you're overshadowed. It's messy. It muddies the water. So,
Well, you want to be in control of your own narrative.
so you're you'll just hold it, drop it when that's the only thing that there is to drop. There's nothing going to screw. The only thing that's going to screw you up is if your competition decides to do something.
Well,
Mark's the man.
and you're going up against, if you drop Fable and then let's say Rockstar drops Grand Theft Auto, you're overshadowed. People aren't talking Xbox, they're talking they're talking, Grand Theft Auto, right?
Yeah, so I think
it's just better. It's like Nintendo. I mean, it's better to control your own narrative.
Yeah, so I just think it's in a tricky. They're in a tricky situation.
Yeah.
So yeah, we didn't really see a lot. We did though.
There was a few we got the Elden Ring.
Yeah, which by the way I'm for. By the way.
Yeah, because you like the more action
co-op.
adventure co-op.
Yeah, here's the thing.
I hope you can play solo though. I don't want it to be straight co-op. I don't know if they talked about it or not, but I hope you can do some solo.
Yeah, I think stripping
sometimes
that game,
you guys aren't on.
stripping that game back to just.
That's true.
But I think
We're not as hardcore as you, Jordan.
stripping that game back to just what makes it amazing, which is the combat, is a genius move. Which, granted, I don't know what it is, but that's the impression that I got from the trailer, is that it's a stripped back, streamlined version of Elden Ring.
Yeah, it's more. I almost got. I think I saw people kind of talking maybe some Monster Hunter type vibe, but so basically, how I understand it works is it's Elden Ring Night Rain, and it's complete. Takes place in basically it's a boss fighter. Is what it is. There was an article that I read that it was very early gameplay and very early impressions of it, and they talked about basically you have, I think it's 3 days, so there's a time limit, and the Night Rain almost expands or contracts, kind of like a BR.
Yeah.
And then you kind of are pushed towards this area, and then you fight, like at the end of the day or the end of the third day or whatever the time limit is, you fight a big boss, and then that's kind of the loop over and over again, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, and even the article I was reading, very early, very first impressions, so there's obviously, I'm sure, going to be a lot more stuff to it. My only, I mean, I'm not necessarily worried, but because Elden Ring is so popular, I hope Bandai Namco isn't like just trying to like Call of Duty it almost, where it's like, hey, let's push an Elden Ring title out, because it's, I mean, it was, the game was huge, right? And then the expansion was huge, and now they're doing this. So I think it's going to be good. I don't know if Miyazaki's actually the one doing it. I don't know. But I mean, more Elden Ring, I can't complain. I just hope they're not doing it just to get the cash grab,
Yeah,
like Call of Duty.
No,
you know what I mean?
I don't think that's the case. I think it's a smart move. I think it's a cool concept what they're doing here with it, expanding upon a very successful universe and just being awesome.
Yeah. So there, if you're watching now, that's like the night rain that they were talking about, or whatever we want to call it. But like the closing that kind of leads you towards the.
Yeah. And what is your time? What is the IRL time frame?
I don't know. I think when I read the article, they said anywhere between like 30 minutes is like the 3 days, or each day is like 15 minutes or something like that.
Okay.
So, yeah, again, very, very early. But it's definitely more, even from the trailer, it's definitely more like action.
Yeah, that's
combat, which I think it makes it interesting.
I think
so. Now, and I believe it's the same world but different. So like you're gonna see some similar areas, but they're gonna be like mixed around a little bit.
Okay.
So I again, very, very early impressions. But
Spicy, what did you think of this one?
This one, awesome. I mean, I don't know. So what were you saying, Jordan, about I was fixing tech?
I was saying the only thing I worry about, which it's not like a huge worry, because I think Bandai Namco has actually been crushing it lately with a lot of their games. But I slightly, because Elden Ring was a huge success, giant game, and then
and you're worried that because
Shadow of the Erd Tree, also huge success for an expansion that, by the way, you have to be like, halfway to 3/4 of the way through the base game to even play, and look how big that expansion was. Yeah. I'm almost just a little worried, like, okay, are they like Call of Duty in this, where it's like, okay, Elden Ring is so popular, let's throw something out every year. Now, it's just a small worry. Like I said, I think Bandai Namco is killing it lately with a lot of their games. So
yeah,
and it looks fun. We'll see how it goes.
It looks way fun. My concern with this is network capability, because I'm just gonna be frank. Sometimes network, this game has issues when you're being invaded, stuff like that. There's a lot of issues with that, and this looks like full blown co-op.
Well, yeah, it's 3-player co-op.
So is it straight up PvE?
So that's I don't know about any PvP. I assume it's leaning more towards PvE.
Yeah. Okay.
Like it's a boss fighter.
The best time I have ever playing any Dark Souls game, any of these From Software games, has been with friends.
Yeah.
So this is just a winning formula for me.
I think so too. Here's the thing that I talked about this in one of my videos this week, but what I like about it is this appearance of, so what Elden Ring is fantastic. I did not play as much as you guys did. I got like 8 hours in, 6 hours in, maybe.
Oh man, you're just a pup.
I'm just a puppy.
You're just a baby.
But one of the things, and they did a very good job, it's a top tier game, but one of the things that, like, what is best about the game is exactly what you said, Spicy. Playing with friends and fighting with friends. What is the gameplay? The fighting.
Yeah.
The boss fights, the stuff like that. I think what gets in the way a little bit of that is RPG aspects. Don't shoot me. Don't shoot the messenger. But RPG aspects. And so if this game scales that back, and that's not to say that gets in the way for everybody. Some people really enjoy that stuff. But when you have limited time and you just want to get in, crush some things, and get out in a From Software style and From Software or Souls-like style, Souls-like fighting, boss
I don't
fights,
know if this will
etc.
be necessarily a Souls-like. It's definitely more
it looks
action-oriented.
But all I'm saying is stripping away the excess and just focusing on what makes Dark Souls so good. And that is the multiplayer, the combat, the playing with friends.
So Jordan, are you saying this is kind of like a Monster Hunter? Is that basically
so those are
what's
some
going
of the vibes I get from it, but it's definitely a boss fighter. Like, you're not going to be like, let's go explore the castle and find all the secrets and blah, blah. Like, it's definitely a boss fighter from what I understand.
Yeah, well, in the trailer, we're looking at like the clamor things where they're climbing up really quick. So mobility is really
like,
huge.
I'm not going to say like there's not other enemies you fight fight because again, how I understand is as like the world kind of brings you in over this time period, it pushes you towards the final boss. So maybe you're going through the map, getting upgrades for your character, or whatever. I don't know. I mean, it's very, very early, and there's not much we know about. This is just going off like the one very early impressions article that I was able, but I don't want to say Monster Hunter, but kind of that some of those vibes, right? Some of those, it's definitely a boss fighter.
Well, one of the best parts about the PC mod community in this game was when they removed like when you beat a boss in Elden Ring and then you have to you lose capabilities of multiplayer, you lose your horse, you lose all that, your mount, all that stuff. The mods kept that in, and quality of life changed drastically when you were to play on PC with friends.
Yeah.
Well, and this looks like that they're like, oh, okay, well, yeah, it makes sense.
I am sure From Software, because I think you're right. I think they looked at some of these mods and they're like, hey, this is actually cool. Why don't we make a game about this?
Yeah.
Because believe it or not, From Software is one of the only developers that actually listens to feedback, and doesn't insult you for having feedback.
Yeah, the biggest concern I have is just network latency and stuff like that, because From Software Games has issues with that.
Like, look at this fight. That's cool.
Yeah.
So it's just obviously that's like Radahn's battlefield, but you're fighting these 3 dogs. So I mean, there's definitely going to be familiar places within the world, but
the name of that boss fight is the 3 bitches.
That's funny.
From hell.
No, and like they've been. I hope they do they take ideas from what mods have done.
Yeah,
like the randomizer. Have you ever seen the randomizer mod for Elden Ring?
Yeah.
Phenomenal. They changed where the bosses are, and so it makes the game super replayable. If they're taking anything from that, then that's just a good formula. It's a formula that has a lot of potential to be a phenomenally fun game, David. So that's why.
Yeah.
To answer your question.
It's something like if you go down the Monster Hunter route, it's something you can always add to. I mean, you can always make new bosses, new layouts, and so.
Yeah, and Super Shark in chat is saying that supposedly it's roguelike. So are you going to get like upgrades as you keep playing?
That's why I think as you keep going, So.
Oh man, okay, yeah, this formula is getting better and better.
Yeah, 3 players are solo only, says Pedro Ramos.
Yeah, cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, I am excited.
So that was the highlight. The other one, can we maybe show off Witcher? Witcher was another
Witcher 4.
The Witcher 4. Now,
there's a little
I have a hard stance.
There's a little controversy behind the Witcher.
Wait, I have a hard stance on when showing off new games that I don't want to see CGI. I want to see gameplay. However, there is an exception to that rule, and the exception to that rule is if you are a sequel to games, to an already established franchise. Then that's the only time that that's acceptable, that you are CGI only trailer, because it is more story based. I already know what to expect from the gameplay. I want to know about the story. I want to know where we're at, because there was a few trailers, first time world premieres, and they were just CGI, and it's like,
yeah, you don't know what you're getting. Yeah.
No, I mean,
okay.
CD Projekt Red has earned the right of CGI.
Well, I would argue that,
but also with every single Witcher 1, 2, and 3, they've always done like intros of cinematic.
Oh, that's cinematic too.
That like it is their style.
Yeah. Some of the best cinematics I've ever seen in gaming ever is from Witcher trailers.
Witcher 2.
Witcher, you're talking about the King Killer, the King Killer pirate boat thing. Oh my gosh! Well, and just like
even number 3,
Witcher 3, the witch,
that's
the witch, where she's like little old me, and then he fights.
Haven't heard that song in a while. Or Killing Monsters trailer, the very first intro, Killing Monsters.
When humans are monsters too.
Monsters.
Yeah, which you actually, there's a nod from Siri in this trailer to those. I mean, it's the same theme.
Yeah.
Everybody hates Witchers, but people live in this universe because of the Witchers paved their way through making society be able to exist in a terrible world. I mean, the lore of this game is phenomenal. I'm really excited to have another Witcher game.
Yeah. Now, there was some criticism, 2 critiques that I've seen on the crazy-ass internet that exists today, is that somehow Witcher is woke because we're playing as Ciri. That's wrong.
Yeah, that's
Ciri,
absolutely wrong.
Ciri's in the story. I'm the most anti-woke person you can be. You make it hard to defend you guys. Okay?
It's very true.
Yeah,
The filter that David has to put on this show is pretty powerful.
Immense. It's immense. And the fact that you morons are saying that, like, go get a life, guys. Like, and the other criticism,
And it's always like, don't make me defend that.
The other one, I can at least okay. We're talking about because I know what the other one is. The other one I completely disagree with.
well, can I say it though?
Well, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
And the other criticism is that Ciri's ugly.
No, that's just stupid.
What are you talking about?
Look, anybody who says she's ugly,
She's fighting a monster, dude.
first of all, and she's not ugly. Like she looks normal. Like anybody who says Ciri's ugly, guaranteed she pops up on your phone. You swipe right.
You swipe
Not
right.
even a joke.
Hard.
Well, and even
No, you pay for the extra things to make sure to ping her to make sure she sees
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
and
she's not
to be
ugly,
fair,
yeah.
in this trailer, I'm sure she hasn't showered in 3 weeks.
I kind of like
She's
that.
got a scar on her face. How is that like?
She's
what are you-
battle tested Ciri.
Yeah, what are these people talking about?
Like, just pause it. Like, she doesn't look bad.
Yeah, she looks badass.
Like,
here's
to
the
be
thing.
honest.
Now here's
I love that shot right there.
Now there's a question: do we want to play a series? And I think that is a fair question because, in fairness,
So-
now I've not completed Witcher 3, but the levels I have played with Ciri are not the best levels. But
Well-
I think she's a Witcher at this point. She's not training to be a Witcher.
I will admit there is some lore
problems.
breaking things
Yeah.
with her being a Witcher.
Yeah.
We'll see how it turns out, what they do. I know there's a lot of disagreement, like, oh, well, they don't do the trial of grass, or they do the trial. I know there's a whole, people are landing on each side of it. I'm just going to kind of like, here's the thing. And I've said this many times.
Give it to me.
Personally, I don't care if you change something on one caveat. It has to be good. Perfect example, Lord of the Rings. Peter Jackson's trilogy. He actually changed quite a bit from the books. Guess what? It was good.
Okay.
Amazon changed a crap ton. It was terrible.
From Lord of the Rings. Oh
Yeah, terrible.
Well, and
Terrible,
everything.
right? Yeah, like.
Name a show.
Fallout though they nailed.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
Well, see. Okay.
But so
No,
look,
but here's the thing.
we'll see how that part turns out. But getting back to like the actual controversies. Right?
No, but here's the thing. Since she's a Witcher now, I would submit.
Well, we don't.
Okay.
Well, she is a Witcher because of her eyes, and she's taking
And
the
she
toxin.
took the toxins. Yeah.
But she
Technically,
she can travel time and space, and who knows what's going on with
yeah.
that.
So I don't know.
If there's
Well,
time travel in this game, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when you are at that level of quantum theory, there's a lot of things that you can do in a storyline.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, but here's my point. In the Witcher series, yes, Geralt is a badass, and we've all come to love him and know him and appreciate him. But I would submit that you could insert any Witcher, and it would be badass to play.
Sure.
The only difference that would change is different personal relationships and stuff like that. But the being a Witcher aspect that we love about Witcher 3, that makes it Witcher 3, or makes Witcher the Witcher, none of that won't change here. Look, this is a Witcher thing that she's doing.
Yeah. Well,
You could input, you could put any other Witcher in here.
It's true.
The whole like Witcher thing with because people are like I said, like there's the whole trial of the grasses and all this stuff, and it was made for boy. I'll see when the game comes out. We'll see how they address that story. If it's good, it's good. If it's not, it's not. Right? But I mean, if you played and beat Witcher 3, and yes, I know there's multiple endings, but it was gearing toward like Ciri's going to be the next person. You know what I mean? Now,
Well, also
I will
the
say
TV
this.
show is doing the same thing.
Yeah, but the TV show's terrible. That's an example of changing things that are. It was so terrible that the super fan Henry Cavill is like, I'm out. Like you guys are.
Season 1 was awesome.
It was good.
2 was okay. 3 was terrible.
Yeah, it was. They did that thing where they think they can write better than the original person.
Yeah, some,
I despise that. Yeah.
No, but I understand the argument because I'm almost like this too. Like, would you rather play a Ciri or Geralt? I think most people right now would say Geralt because that's all we've had, right? And let's be honest. I mean, the guy knows what he's doing. I mean, when he goes at it with Yennefer on a stuffed unicorn, that's something you can do. That's you're special. So, but no, I'm excited for this. all the Witcher games I think have been very good.
Well, it nails the same
And
feel
I
here.
think Ciri is a good character.
I think she's a really good character.
I will admit there was some scenes in Witcher 3 where I was like, yeah, it's kind of annoying. Geralt had to kind of parent her and, put her back on the right path.
Well, I think the levels were kind of like, I don't want to.
Well, just like in different story scenarios and stuff. But
I'm running through the wolves.
no, but
woods
I'm
fighting wolves.
as of right now, I'm fine with Ciri being the next
This was the
protagonist,
trailer
so.
of the show for me.
Yeah, it's exciting to have another
Yeah, I could see that. It could, yeah.
another dark fantasy game coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do we want to talk about Game of the Year yet, or do we want to talk about Naughty Dog's new game?
Oh yeah, the space game?
The space game, which can I say feels like a Cyberpunk DLC.
Yeah, let's I could okay, maybe.
Like that's the vibes. That's the vibes I got from that game.
It's got that like Guardians of the Galaxy like vibe,
Yeah.
which is very common because of Guardians of the Galaxy
Yeah.
and other things
And Cyberpunk.
and Cyberpunk. Yeah, let's pull it up. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. So Naughty. What is the game? The Naughty Dog game?
Is it Intergalactic or something like
Yeah, I
that?
think that's it. That's the trailer they ended on.
Intergalactic. Yep. Yeah, that was the big reveal. That if there was a big reveal, I think Witcher is probably one of the biggest. Witcher 4, and then I think this one has probably got the most coverage because you have a lot of people not liking the character selection, saying, "Hey,
Well, to be
people
fair,
are accusing this one of being woke as well."
Now, to be fair,
This one you have an argument.
this one you have an argument because, like Ciri being ugly, you're crazy. This one,
Yes.
you got more. I think you got more of an argument with this one.
So, but at the end of the day, this is my only. I have no issue with saying any of that stuff. And there are some red flags that are like, are you going to preach to me?
Well, there's a giant red flag that I know of.
Yeah, are you going to preach to me? Or are you going to make a good game? And you can do both. And guess what? If you make a good game, you can say whatever you want to people.
Look at Metaphor.
Metaphor with
Which I
Phantasm.
want to talk about.
You
I
can-
want to talk about that game.
Fantastic game. They have a very clear, distinct message. No one cares. Because it's a good game. I think where people get in trouble is if it is perceived that you're putting your message before your game. Don't know if that's the case here. Ultimately we'll have to wait and see. All that matters in my mind is gameplay. And then you can, if the game is fun, the game is fun. If it's not, it's not. And then you can take a look at why it's not. What did they do here?
Well, I think
All of the color palettes, I have when I saw this, first of all, I actually thought that this was a very good CGI segment. I have no idea what the game is about, other than she's a bounty hunter.
They said this is in-game engine, so this is not CGI.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
It specifically said
But it's a cutscene.
cutscene. Yeah, kind of like Grand Theft Auto cutscenes.
Yeah.
It's using the engine.
So you're clearly a space bounty hunter of some type.
And then
Chasing down some
Sigourney
dude.
Weaver's telling you what to do. And
Yeah, and then you get up and you launch out. But it's going to be interesting. Is Naughty Dog going to able to replicate the Naughty Dog of the past? Will they not? Are the criticisms here correct? Are they incorrect? Are they putting a message before their game? Are they putting the game before the message?
I think the biggest reason people are, whatever you want to say, skeptical or worried it's going to go one direction is because of The Last of Us 2. Now, The Last of Us 2
Was still a solid game.
Yeah, but the story was terrible.
Okay.
And it leaned into it was just terrible.
Yeah.
So I think
that was like COVID.
what's actually
That was like COVID era. That was a dark time in history.
yeah, where you're literally like in your office all day. It should have been
what's
better.
funny is the game is about like COVID.
It is like COVID on steroids.
So no, what's funny about The Last of Us 2 is really interesting because like every other part of the game is like top tier. Like I've always said like Naughty Dog has some of the best animators. Like the way they grab guns, the way they put their arms up. Like there's I know this
talented.
sounds stupid, but like there's a scene where like Joel and Ellie are fighting, and this is in game, and Ellie's up against a car, and Joel and you as the character moved Joel over. This might be in the first one, but I remember he put his hand like it was just the way they animate the way they Naughty Dog is it's almost like Red Dead too. Yeah. They're very specific, like when you pull your gun over your shoulder, it doesn't clip through you like most games. Like it's their animators are top tier. The graphics were really good. Well, I will even say the gameplay is fun, but the story was.
So here's the thing.
Very
talking about that detail, this trailer had those kind of vibes though.
Yeah. But I understand why people are worried, especially when I don't know how to say this. When you see the character they chose to
I mean,
be the front and center.
yeah.
But
I mean, it's very, I mean, I don't think it's all females. The bad guy you're chasing is a male. There's a lot of, by the way, it's a Porsche. It's a Porsche spaceship that she's driving.
I know.
There's a lot of like 1980s vibes to this for sure. Not just vibes, but like product placement in the game. Like Sony, there was like Sony.
like the first Transformers movie.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it had a distinct vibe for sure.
No, it adds a level of immersion to the style of the game. And I mean, I love this style.
Yeah.
I absolutely love the style that this is portraying.
So ultimately, all that matters is if it's good or not,
Yeah.
for sure.
I think the story holds quite a bit of weight with whether or not I'm gonna say the game is good or not.
Sure.
I mean, gameplay mechanics are one thing, but I have been playing a game recently. I've talked about it on the show for the last 3 weeks. Metaphor.
Yeah.
And the story has made this game.
Well,
I want to talk about when we have the discussion about Game of the Year. I'll talk more about Metaphor. But when you have a story that's that good,
yeah.
it elevates the game so high.
Well, here's the thing. When I say all that matters is if a game is good, that's not separate from the story. Like
Okay.
a story is a part of what makes it's the complete package.
Well, because Jordan was just saying
The story was,
like Naughty
in my
Dog's-
opinion, Last of Us 2, the story was so,
Disjointed.
that it actually, for me, it brought the game down.
Yeah.
The first one, I think, is a much better game.
The first
altogether.
one-
The first one.
the first. I mean, the
I mean,
first
you guys,
Last of
I never
Us-
played it. I mean, I actually own it.
The
I
second
just never
one,
played it.
the second one comes in and kind of pushes the first one off to the side, like almost disrespectfully.
And that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Well, because there's been moments in Metaphor when I've been playing Metaphor. I've talked to Jordan I've had this conversation with Jordan. One of the reasons The Last of Us was so good is because of the story and how the story is told and how the story technically ends at that part of the story.
Yeah.
And I mean, I remember for days staring at the wall going, holy crap.
I mean, when you guys beat it, you both told me like, bro, I'll just be in the shower and I just start thinking about it.
Yeah, well, because there's decisions that are made, and you think like, would I make that decision?
so
You know, like
with that in mind, I have had several instances in Metaphor where that has happened to me, and I'm still playing it.
Wow.
So,
Well, everybody, like I say, everyone I know that
I
is
wanna-
deep into that game, has beat it, has played it, shares that same sentiment.
and I want to talk about that specific game. when we
Let's
do
talk
the
about
game
it then, baby. So, Intergalactic, I think this probably made the biggest noise this week, this trailer. Then probably Witcher, and then probably the Game Awards. Now, the Game Awards happened, and Game of the Year, everything I think pretty much went off without super huge controversy. Didn't really see.
Here's my thing. I mean, I watched it live 2 hours late.
Yeah.
So I was watching it live on the VOD. I started at I pressed start and I worked, and then I waited 2 hours, and then I pressed play, and then I caught up at the end because of how much fluff is in this show. Okay, speed forward, okay. Trailer, awesome. I'll watch the trailer, okay. Awards. And you know what's funny? There's so much fluff that I think 80% of the awards that they showed, they spit out like really fast.
They're on a side stage. Yeah.
Side stage, and they said, here's the game of the war. Here's best song. This is the winner. Best whatever, best. Here's the winner. Best. And when you have that kind of efficiency, and the show is still 3 hours and 40 minutes long,
There's a lot of fluff.
there's a lot of fluff, and that's one of my biggest gripes with the show. When we talk about Game of the Awards, I actually have I think a hot take.
Yeah.
We'll see what my opinion. I'm not online. I'm not on social
Real quick,
media, so I don't know where
I do want to
land.
say, so the ship in this trailer that was on screen
Oh, I'll pull it back on.
was Porsche, and T-Bucks in chat says, I wonder if they have one of those ships that's just like a Toyota Corolla.
Yeah,
that would be
like,
hilarious.
the one that just like
they take real world cars and brands and then turn them into spaceships.
Naughty Dog is always. What's funny is Naughty the Sony stuff. Naughty Dog's all, like in Uncharted 4, like you played an original PlayStation game, but there is a lot of like Adidas, Porsche.
Well,
like there's a lot of. I wonder if they need a lot of money for this game.
Let's say, like, if we're gonna take a real sci-fi leap in our reality,
Yeah.
it's going to be private businesses that are going to push us up to space.
Yeah, they're gonna have Starlink.
Yeah, well, that's exactly.
SpaceX. Do we see some SpaceX?
10 years ago, I might not have said that, but
Oh, dude. Okay, this part, by the way, looks freaking cool.
yeah.
Well, it almost makes you like, is it, I don't want to say Souls-like, but is it, like, are they going complete, like, melee combat?
No,
style,
I think they're going to stay with what they're good at, which
Yeah.
is how they
Third person?
third person, linear, great storytelling. If the story's good, that would be even better. But it's Naughty Dog at its best is when they tell a story through slow RPG progression, but building up the character as you keep going. It's a really good formula. I honestly, I don't want a Souls-like game in this for this. I want a good story, and I'm building the character up as I progress through it.
Okay, so then we get to the Game of the Year award, and remember, we've got Wukong, which we thought was a favorite. I personally thought there's no way Re Fantasia loses it. Every metaphor,
Yeah.
everybody raves about that game. It's just, top tier level.
And it won a lot of its other categories, too.
It won everything but I think music, and it lost to Final Fantasy, which I concede.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's fair. That's
Probably the
good
same guy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's good. Yeah.
And the winner of the Game of the Year was Astrobot. Now, everybody I know that has played it loves Astrobot. Even a few people that I follow called it early on that they thought Astrobot was going to be Game of the Year. They enjoyed it that much. To me, I don't know. Like, it's Game of the Year. Good for them. It won it. It just feels like there's levels to it. And Astrobot. Here's the thing. What other category did they win? Like against?
Yeah.
I want to go head to head against a Mario.
Yeah, they won.
There's like one of those.
Couple.
There's like a platform category. Did Astrobot win the platform category?
They won best game direction. Let's go through.
Because
I don't see any others.
indie, mobile.
Best action adventure game makes sense.
Okay, wait, and who were they up against?
For that, they were against Prince of
Legend
Persia,
Lit.
Silent Hill, good. Star Wars Outlaws,
Okay,
of
makes
course,
sense.
and Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom.
And they won best family game. Okay. Okay, so there was no dichotomy here that was created. There was no competing. Yeah. Okay. Well, then I don't have a lot to say because I have a lot to say.
I have a lot to say.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then you guys have both played the game. And you've played the other games. So let's start with Mark because Mark's very passionate about this.
Yeah. And I want to be very clear that I think that the team that made Astrobot, well done. I have not played it, so be clear with that. So full disclosure, transparency, I have not played it. It's on my 2 plays. Because any game that makes this list, I want to play it and I want to enjoy it. Because I know from a lot of people, it's good. The vibe I get is it's a very good game. Now, my discussion and my thoughts on a game of the year. This is not a good game. A game of the year is when I think, especially after playing Metaphor, David, when I think of a game of the year, I'm not thinking the game is good. I think, how is this game going to lose?
Yeah.
That's how good that game has to be, in my mind, in my opinion.
Sure.
And I think...
well, because you thought Black Myth Wukong because it had more exposure. Using that argument, playing devil's advocate here, wouldn't Astrobot have even more exposure? Like it's a lower entry point for an Astrobot than even a Black Myth, and definitely than a Metaphor?
Probably. I saw an interview with Quentin Tarantino. This, I don't know how long ago, but it's a really good interview. That guy is, whether you like him or hate him, he's famed for his story and knowledge of movies, and just like his general knowledge of movie production, movie storytelling, movie all that stuff. And in this interview, he talked about, you can look it up, he talked about how there are actually a lot more movies than you think that are perfect movies. He says, you may not like those movies, but the movies are perfect. In every scene is perfect. Every line is perfect. He says, even though you may not like that movie, the movie is perfect. Now, when I'm playing Metaphor, you may not like a turn-based game like this, and that's totally fine. I like turn-based games. I've always liked them. I think the first one I played was like Final Fantasy 1, long time ago. This game for me is a perfect game. It is no question one of the best turn-based games I have ever played in my entire life. It is one of the best games I've played in my entire life. It is a perfect game for me. And so when I hear, and like I said, Astrobot, congratulations. That's awesome. But when I hear people going, yeah, it's a great game, after playing Metaphor, I have no idea how this game lost. That's how good that game was for me, and it might not be the same for you.
Sure.
But that's how good that game is. It is an absolute perfect game for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and that's been the discussion. It's was a little bit of a controversial pick. Now, no one's saying Astrobot is bad from what I've seen.
No, it's not.
But the question is...
Now, here's the question that bothers me. Because I want to say, Astrobot, I've said it a lot of times, congratulations. If Nintendo or if Xbox made Astrobot, would it have won? Would it have won if Xbox made Astrobot?
I mean, that is the question.
And that's where
perusing the internet.
That's the question where I go, okay.
In other words, what is suggested within that question is that there is a PlayStation bias.
Yes, and that
At the least,
to me,
at the most, they bought the award.
that to me, and like I said, I'm not online. I don't know. This is just me thinking. And if that discussion is going on, then maybe there's more people like me out there than I realize. But that is a question to me that it kind of bothers me.
Yeah.
And maybe
I would be curious if there's people who played. Let's take the big three: Astrobot, Black Myth, and Metaphor. And for people that played and enjoyed all of them, all three of those, if you were to take a room of 100 people, I would be curious at what you rank them 1 through 3, where those 3 games place. That would be very interesting, because I think in what's hard with games, with movies, you can sit down, invest 2 hours, and watch every single movie on the list and make your judgment.
That's very true. I would say, because I'm feeling like this. I mean, you can actually see the progression of me playing Metaphor throughout the last 3 weeks. Yeah. It's a really good game. I'm really enjoying it. Last week, man, I think Wukon's still going to be able to win it, but and then this week I'm over 100 hours into it. I swear I've tried to fight the final battle like 15 times, but the game just keeps going because it's a slow burn. I think it's one of the best games I've ever played.
I mean, maybe that's its Achilles heel, is that for
journalists,
for awards,
journalists are not putting in the 120 hours to play the game.
Is that a sweet spot is probably 15 to 20 hours for most people.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably accurate.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Anyways,
and especially if it's a game that crescendos, like it climaxes at the end.
And then you compare, I mean, we had the woke discussion. You compare how they discuss and how they challenge and how I mean, one of the options is tolerance that you have to build up. You know what I mean? Like it's done and told so well. And it's actually, the game name in itself is a metaphor on, how do I say this without spoiling anything? I'll be very cautious so I don't spoil the game for anybody. It's a metaphor on current, like our time, I guess.
Sure.
And it is done so well on how it discusses loss, death, brotherhood, sisterhood, religious fanaticism. Yeah, it's all over the place. And it is told in such a good story. And like I said, it's not for everybody because those cutscenes are long. Yeah, you know, and so I get it. But they have done such a good job at discussing that and telling that story. And of course, you know, the whole strategy behind turn-based games and stuff like that is like a shell on top of it's a masterpiece to me. Anyways, yeah.
Boba Fett said, it's not bad. It's just not game of the year. And that does kind of seem to be the consensus of many.
Are you talking about Astrobot?
Astrobot, yeah.
Well, congratulations. What makes me nervous is that question. Well, is Game of the Weird game of the Year? Yeah, Game of the Weird.
That actually would be a great category.
That's a good category.
Metaphor would have won that one too.
Metaphor could be up for that. Death Stranding would be up for it.
I mean, I guess even Black Myth would be up for
Black
that.
Myth could be up for it too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jordan,
yeah, your thoughts on that? Hopefully I didn't take too much time.
I think something went on in the background. I think that's a straight up wrong choice.
well, did you see the drama that happened? Black Myth Wukong had their speech. They spent money. They fully expected to win.
Well, yeah, but once again, and this is and once again, it was mistranslated.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah, because it wasn't like a bitterness. It was like a congrat. Anyway. Yeah, there was a whole mistranslation.
Wait,
thing
explain it. Don't go over that. Let me.
So Black Myth came. Basically, the director came out, and it all started with. It's such a long, annoying story. Like
it all started 25 years ago.
Yeah, it's like it's like high school drama annoying. Like Alana Pierce made a video and she talked about how she was in the front row and she looked over
saw people cry,
and they were crying
and no one was actually crying.
But hold on, that clip, that like 1 minute clip was taken and then everybody thought it was the director, and then the director made a tweet saying like, oh, it's such blah blah blah. He said something, and then like at the very end it was like, guess we don't get to use our Game of the Year speech, smiley face. But then that was mistranslated, so everybody freaked out there. And then when you see the footage, the director himself was actually not crying. He was standing and clapping, and he had kind of a smile on his face.
Yeah, okay.
And then like I'm not saying like Alana was saying anything wrong because she didn't say director. She just said she looked over and there was people that are sad. So maybe it was other people like.
That's the same.
It was just like
in journalism. That's called an anonymous source. You could do that.
It was just like, and then like I said again,
the lack of integrity.
There was an issue with like the translation again. Like, so it was just like. So it was literally just high school drama.
Here is my plug for Perplexity. Look how well it works. It destroys Google. Google, guys, so I posted this question actually on Twitter the other day, or X now. I've actually been calling it X more.
Here's a question.
Derail. It's finally becoming X.
What do you call a tweet? Do you call it an X post?
It's a post. It's just a post.
So, but I post everywhere. A tweet was specific to the brand.
Yeah, Twitter had great branding for sure, but.
Oh, okay. So I X'd it.
But we X'd it.
Okay.
It's now X. No, so I asked this question over on X. What do you still use Google? Because I haven't used Google in 6 months. Like Google was my whole life. I did most of my job on Google.
Yeah.
It just sucks now, dude. With the technology advancements, they have not kept up. Their AI is just not up to par as the rest. I use I use Perplexity. It's a website. It's free, just like Google. And Perplexity is
it's like an aggregate searcher.
It's it's as useful as Google used to be
in 2012.
Yeah, like
Google to 2012.
It's that kind of leap. And so when you go back to Google and you look at stuff, it's like you didn't find it. You have to okay, I worded it. Okay, how do I word this better? No, Perplexity finds what I want exactly. So
you know what? I've been using it now this week, by the way.
And are you blown away?
I'm not blown away, but it takes me back to the days when I asked a question and it was answered.
Got the right. Well, what I like is look like the way it gives you.
That's what I grew up on.
It gives you the sources. It summarizes it, and then you can click like what it is, and it's phenomenal. Then all the images and stuff. Anyways, it's phenomenal.
Good. Okay, maybe we can get them as a.
By the way, Google's lost like 40% of the market share.
I know.
It's something in like 6 months. It's crazy.
I know.
But it's because of that technology can. It's like when Google came on the scene, Yahoo was the big dog, and Google was nobody. Alphabet, who's that? And then now Yahoo no longer exists. Like that can happen. MapQuest was the thing.
Yeah, MapQuest.
Anyways, this is what it says. I asked the question, was Black Myth Wukong ready to accept the Game of the Year award? According to search results, the CEO of Game Science, Feng Ji, had actually written a Game of the Year acceptance speech 2 years ago, indicating a level of preparation and hope for winning the award. However, at the Game Awards, Black Myth Wukong did not win Game of the Year, instead winning Best Action Game. Feng Ji expressed disappointment about not winning the top prize, sharing his feelings on Weibo and questioning the selection criteria. He acknowledged the game's significance as the first Chinese game to receive such prestigious nominations, noting the 4 nominations that they got were groundbreaking for a Chinese game. But that's it. So he
Yeah,
wrote it 2 years in
and-
advance. It's not like he.
Well, and what's funny is every game up there probably had an acceptance speech.
Oh yeah, that's what you do.
Yeah.
That's
So
what you
anyway,
do.
but going back to it, so I think there was something going on in the background. I think Astrobot is, like everybody else says, it's a great game. I actually played a lot with my kids. I have a lot of good memories with it, and I think Astrobot can be held up with the great platformers of the past, like top 5. We're talking Mario 64. I think it can be compared to those.
I'm going to be playing
because it is that good. Yeah. That being said, it is no Metaphor ReFantazio, and it is no Black Myth Wukong. Those games are in a different league.
Yep.
I think Astrobot deserves game direction and all the other ones it was in, and like Mark said, fantastic to the developers, and I hope they make more games like this, because I do think I would almost say Astrobot is better than like Mario 64 and some of these other platforming games.
Yeah.
But there something I think something happened behind the scenes, because Black Myth Wukong and Metaphor ReFantazio are in completely different leagues. And that being said, guess who won Player's Choice Game of the Year?
Yeah,
Black Myth Wukong.
It went up against 3 gacha games.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
and it still won.
Yeah, that's right. It did, didn't it?
Yeah. And it still won. And those games give you motivation to vote for them, and Black Myth Wukong did not. So that kind of gives you an idea.
Hey, vote for us, and you get this free pack in the game. Also, if we win, you get a bonus pack.
Exactly. And Wukong had no incentivization with their audience at all.
Just a good game.
And it still won.
I knew, I had a feeling there would be drama. I mean, there wasn't really drama around this, but I had a feeling there'd be drama around Black Myth Wukong, because when the journalists all came out and lied about the game, and then when they reviewed it and lied about the reviews again, because they got their feelings hurt that Black Myth Wukong did not believe their lies. I thought there was going to be drama about that.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Happy Mayo says, I just beat Indiana Jones, and it's my game of the year for next year, 2025. He says, I don't think it'll win, but man, was it good. Yeah, dude.
That one's loaded as well.
Indiana Jones fan. I'm excited for Spicy to play Indiana Jones.
I actually had this conversation with my wife. I was like, all right, this is the game we're playing together. So
My kids watched it hooked. Yeah. Hooked, line, and sinker. So
I'm
good.
excited to play that one.
So good. So I jumped into Path of Exile this week as a monk. I don't recommend jumping in as a monk. I had no idea. I did the monk because you know when they're all saying on the thing, and I just like the fighting style. But the fighting style they're showing you on that thing is like after you unlock a bunch of shit.
Well, David, even when we would play Dungeons and Dragons, you're an endgame player. First, I gotta tell you guys, when we're introducing our characters, all this stuff. If anyone's ever played Dungeons and Dragons, you have that first, setting up the story, everything. David comes in, we're all ready to go. We go into the town, and he just says, "Where can I buy?" And he lists a thing he searched on the internet that is the greatest barbarian helmet.
Powerful barbarian. It was like a weapon, yeah.
That's what he asked the dungeon master.
Yeah.
The day one, what is the first thing, or where do I buy this? And I want to go buy that right now.
Yeah.
That's how he plays these style of games. So I can see, I'm bringing this up because I can see when you're playing that and you're seeing a badass on screen, and then you start out with
and I'm like,
sandals.
Let's roll, baby. No, but the monk. Well, Jordan even came up and played the monk. So I was like, why am I dying so much? Do I just suck? Is this game?
Because it's not Diablo.
First of all, it is not Diablo, and I like that. Like it is. It has this balance of challenging you, forcing you to gain skill instead of just button mashing. And Diablo has a little bit of skill, but not to the point that Path of Exile does. However, okay, I'm getting into levels now with monk because I said I'm going to stick it out. Yeah.
The first
once you get like three health things on your tree, you start to be able to survive.
As soon if you're coming like straight from Diablo, like it's an adjustment.
It is an adjustment.
It is a different game.
But I looked it up. The first thing, like best classes for beginners.
I personally think melee is much harder to play in this game.
Agreed.
Than the 3 raids.
I think in any game they generally are, because you're right that unless you know how to keep an eye on your health, maintain a whole bunch of stuff, those frontline guys, man. That's why tanks are never the funnest to play.
But
in my opinion.
So I typed it in because easiest ones to play, best characters to play on every list. The most
probably the
difficult player
witch.
to play is the monk, and I was like, shit.
Yeah,
How many hours? Did you burn a lot of hours?
Monk and then warrior.
No,
'cause
I only have a
warriors-
few hours, but I'm in on the monk because it does when it does open up to you. It does. It's not that it's difficult to play. It's just difficult at early levels because the monk doesn't take off until you unlock some certain abilities.
Well, that's how these games generally are because the goal of this is to become a god.
Yeah.
And just walk into a room and have everything explode.
Well, what I love, for instance, is the monk has a cool, like I've got a cool move where I can jump back, and I'm just a beginner and I'm a noob here. So everybody that if you're like, well, just wait. If you're listening to this, I can jump back and I leave an ice bomb, and then I can like kill these dudes, and when I kill these dudes, I get their souls. And then that complements my other ability that I can then use to like AoE mass destroy people, and like all these moves complement, but you got to learn them and you got to unlock them, and as you unlock them, you become more and more powerful, and so it's just a difficult.
Yeah, with your skill gems, support
Yeah.
gems, and all that. So
It's super cool though.
Wasn't there-
I'm impressed. Jordan was right. I'm impressed, fully impressed.
Well, and this is my next game. Jordan's been waiting for me. I have to finish Metaphor. This is my next game.
Respect for sticking it out, dude. You didn't
I-
jump ship. You said no.
I know. And I
You said no.
I
I'm
hardly
eating
ever
my
do
vegetables.
no, I mean,
this. I'm eating my
yeah.
I am. I'm eating my greens.
Yeah.
But no, have they fixed what did they call it? The loot drop stuff and all that stuff? Are they?
Well,
how are they?
I mean,
how are they approaching it?
It's a loaded question.
Okay, that's fair. Well, I mean, I'm asking because do you know what's great? When you come into a game 3 weeks late, a lot of this is all fixed.
I mean, they've. Which, by the way,
they
is,
already dropped multiple patches.
yeah, they've done quite a bit to it. The loot issue was, I don't necessarily think it was and they even said like, hey, we're looking into it because we don't want to just like give you tons of loot because then you can't scale that back. Like that's, so they're being careful with it. I don't think loot was the issue. I think it was understanding the systems within the game. I think currency was an issue, which they did address very quickly. Which I think was one of their, when they said, hey, we're addressing things with loot, currency was one of them. Because where I'm at now, I'm fine like with loot. It's the currency to upgrade and make that loot better.
That's okay.
And they did.
I think
fix
it was
that.
called the loot loop.
Yes.
Which
so that where I'm at, I'm feeling okay with it.
Okay.
Then they did dodge roll and stuff like that they fixed.
Wait, what was wrong with the dodge roll?
So you couldn't roll through enemies. And what they're
So they would body block you at like any enemy? Like,
yeah,
because there's a lot of
so
enemies on the screen.
What would happen? Well, it's not like there is a lot, but it's not like as much as Diablo. Like, at least it's a hard question. Anyway, so basically, the idea was they wanted you like, hey, like if you get trapped, you're being punished. Like you need to. But the idea is like you need to think about your fights. Like, if you're going to run into a group of 10 guys and they push you into a wall, that don't run into a group of 10 guys, whatever.
Yeah.
But it just didn't. A lot of people and I agreed with it. Like it didn't feel good. Okay. So what they did is they basically fixed the roll. I don't think you can necessarily go through people. I think when you roll, it pushes them back now or something like that.
Oh,
like, yeah.
Okay.
So can you? Yeah, it's but they fixed it. So
That's the patch notes. We fixed it.
yeah. So, but no, it's they're doing a lot of good stuff, man. Like I told you guys a couple weeks ago, I'm a simp for this game. Still am. Like I mean, it's by far not perfect, and it's there's still a lot of work to be coming. But this is the thing. Like I know they're gonna make it better. Like I know
Are
they're
you using that word correctly?
yes, like
Simp?
Yeah, like you're simping for that girl.
Don't you think it means what you think it means?
Yeah, what do you think it means?
Me?
I know
Wait,
what it means.
is Spicy
That's
say-
perplexity.
Is
Actually,
Spicy,
are you
are you
allo-
saying
are you allo-
I don't think it means, or
No,
Jordan doesn't?
I
think
just
it
quoted Princess Bride.
Oh, okay.
It was
Yeah.
Yeah, are
keep
we
using
even
that word.
allowed to use it on YouTube? I know Twitch banned it because it offended like beta people.
means? Well, that to me, like calling someone a simp is like I would never say I'm simping for something because to me that's like a weak person.
That's exact.
That's how good this game is. I'm weak to it.
Yeah,
I'm
he's-
simping for it.
Jordan would basically be friend zoned by this game if it meant if it meant that he could keep a relationship with it.
Yeah, like that's
That's what he's saying.
No, that's how good this game is. to me.
The term
Did you just
simp-
ask Perplexity
Yeah.
what simp?
Yes.
This whole episode is a Perplexity commercial.
The term simp is a slang expression that describes someone, typically a man, who shows excessive sympathy and attention toward another person, often in a romantic context,
Yeah.
without receiving the same level of affection in return.
Did you? I was
See?
exactly
no,
right.
That's remember
No,
that's,
no,
that's
but-
exactly why Twitch banned it, because it hurt the feelings
No, no.
of like beta males.
But this behavior is generally perceived as desperate or submissive, overly submissive, particularly when the individual is trying to gain favor, affection, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's how it, like,
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Jordan
So-
doesn't
but-
matter as long as he's able to maintain a relationship with this game.
yeah, that's
They
how
can
He
do-
is
can do what-
okay
they
with
can-
how
yeah,
he's
yeah.
treated.
the game can do whatever it wants to
Yeah.
you.
Correct.
Okay, I see how
Yeah.
you're using it.
Yeah, see what I mean?
I got it.
If it was on Twitch, I couldn't say that because it would hurt.
Is that really banned on
It
Twitch?
really was. It was.
I don't know if it is now, but it was banned because it hurt the feelings of beta males that gave the OnlyFans girls their money.
Yeah, it was banned.
Was that literally the...
That's yep.
Yeah,
It was. Look it up.
was.
Yep.
Because
Ask Perplexity.
I'm gonna-
they got made fun of for giving
gonna-
the OnlyFans girls money and feeling like because remember they got mad that they found out that Amarath had a husband, and it was like, what did you think you were doing when you were giving her hundreds of dollars?
You're going down a rabbit
it was-
hole,
it was-
David,
yeah, it's-
of
it's-
the inconsistencies of Twitch bans.
Yeah, it was. Well, and there's like a whole. It's like tiered layers of story.
The ban
bet-
specifically targets the use of simp
you
along
couldn't
with
say it.
along with other terms like incel and virgin.
Yeah, because people
So yeah, see, it exists.
and it was specifically designed because how do you say it? No, yeah, like because beta people got offended
Yeah, well, yeah.
on the internet of all
It's
places.
the inconsistencies of the Twitch ban is probably might be a really good like lore video that somebody could make.
Like one of those hour long.
It may have been reversed. I don't know, but I remember when it was a huge deal when it got banned
Yeah, David's doing some
Because-
serious research.
because it was literally banned for like
There's
one
a
demographic
lot of weird things
people.
when you go down the Twitch rabbit hole.
Twitch recognized that using such terms could discourage viewers from participating in streams and supporting their favorite content creators.
Yeah,
it was the beta male ban.
there's a lot. I'll tell you stuff after the show that'll blow your mind.
I had no idea.
You learned a lot about the words today, huh?
I knew you weren't using it correctly.
I was using it
That's-
correctly.
In the
I was-
context
yeah.
of how he used it, I
Yeah,
could see
yeah.
Jordan being just a pussy
For this
when
game.
For this game,
Yeah, that's
exactly
how
I
good it is.
understood.
Yeah, that's how good it is.
So
This
on
is straight
Twitch,
up-
can you call someone a little bitch?
I don't know. Like Twitch has got the
Because
weirdest
it
because if
depends on-
that's not banned,
No.
then simp should not be banned.
Well, so David, here's the thing.
Okay.
It's the inconsistencies with Twitch bans.
Oh, that's
that
what
is the
makes them so-
issue.
okay.
Because it depends on whoever is auditing what is said at what time of day, and it's like in Spellmonger, it's universal time, David. It depends on the day.
Depends on the day. Okay.
Okay, it's universal time.
I got it.
It just depends on who's on the watch that day, and yeah. Oh well, that's fun. I will after the show. Let me take you down a rabbit hole.
The
of-
images that are popping up here on the side, by the way, for simp are hilarious.
Well, because it's if you're a simp,
Should we
you're
ask-
you're a certain type of person.
Should we
and
ask-
let's be honest, we all know what type of person you are.
Well, and that the young ones, Jordan is, he can cook with the young slang.
Oh yeah, I try to stay hip.
I just asked Grok to create an image of a simp.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
gonna be very curious at what. And here we go. We're getting it unveiled here.
You and your AI tools.
So far, it all does seem to be. Why are they Asian men? Yeah, they just look like nice guys. These are simps.
That's
They're just
actually
like
a
nice.
good representation of a simp.
They're just-
It's a very nice guy.
Like a very.
They're
too
like
nice.
so nice.
Too
and
nice.
yeah, like
Who don't-
T-Bucks drops a super chat. Wingman for 49 months. He says, been simping for my boys for 49 months, baby.
Yeah, that's he's using it
Should
right.
we change our name? Should we call everybody here that supports us simps?
no.
Yeah, like the high.
No.
What up, simps?
No, that's like so against our brand. Like we've been like, I think we had like a Top Gun like wingman status.
We
like
have
it
had
was
Top
like
Gun wingman
bro
status.
code. Simps is like the exact opposite end of that spectrum.
Yeah, but you know how you take those things and now you turn it into, I don't know, like an identity. Like, what up, simps? What up, my simps?
Well, you know the
Yeah,
commercial
I feel
that
like
we
those
used to run.
images are pretty. Because like when I think of a simp, I think of someone who donates to an OnlyFans model, thinking like they're their friend.
No, that's called parasocial. That's I mean, yeah.
But it leans into
simpness.
simpness.
Yeah, now we're getting to like, you know how rock history has like everything's coming off of like you had the Ramones and then the Sex Pistols and then everything's branching off into different types of music. Yeah, it's the same theory here. I wonder if they're going to have a college course on simping. On like simp theory and simp appreciation.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what's funny is
What do you think of when you think of a simp?
You when it comes to this game.
Yeah, hey, this game is I am thoroughly enjoying it.
You know what would be funny if simp is one of those like shadow banned words that YouTube has also things. So this episode is going to be like, oh, what are you showing me? Well, I don't even know. This is like back in the 1995 days.
Oh, it didn't work.
Yeah, what were you trying to do?
I said,
David is showing a slowly progression of AI pictures.
Those are all people that would have simps
and they're very attractive females that he was
at the beach.
At the beach I don't know what you're trying to create over there.
Trying to create.
I'm glad this is not on camera, everybody.
Our new spokesman.
Are you trying to get her? No, you're not. We're not rebranding. The commercial I made with like the Van Damme movies like 2 years ago. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's the exact opposite of what you're trying to pull up.
We came in so close.
Yeah,
there.
he's getting close.
So close there.
He's trying to make an XoneBros bikini
model.
That was not bad.
Oh, a model?
Yeah, that's actually not bad at all.
That's not bad.
But I think a lot of
that one's probably.
I think a lot of the AI images, a lot of them do like they like the Asian.
What they do, I noticed, is unless you give it specific instructions.
Because isn't that where it's like getting a lot of its training?
No, I think
from Asian pictures.
No, I think I know why. I'll tell you after
I
the
think
show.
I think it's an amalgamation. So like, if you don't give it specific instructions and you ask for,
Don't worry. I think a lot of people know why.
and you
I'll explain it afterwards.
Because that's how they train their models.
So I actually created this I was like a weak crybaby guy with the PlayStation hat on, be insulting. And that was the first iteration. And then I was like, it needs to be more over the top and more cartoonish. And I used this in my thumbnail for my video. And then I was like, okay, go even more. And then I was like, no. I want the South Park. Give me a South Park World of Warcraft player version. So then it went that way.
David's showing. No one on the show can see it. We still have Path of Exile play.
Well, I think.
And then I was like, this is where I was like, make it South Park.
Is this all on Grok?
Yeah, Grok's the best one. Because you could put it on fun mode and it has no restrictions.
Oh, gotcha.
And then this is the one.
It does really good with. So it created that one on the top left.
Yeah, this is that's the one I used. I used it in my tweet.
It does really good with letters.
It's the only one that does good with letters.
Oh, that's fascinating.
There's the South Park kind of style.
Yeah, we're talking. Everybody that can't see, I apologize.
Well, anyone can go to actually my Twitter and see it. Right, wait for
David is turning this into a plug.
right there. I made like a little meme. I turned it into a meme.
That's
well
funny.
done.
All right, let's go home and play games.
So how long has the show been going? Are we doing? Oh my gosh, we're over an hour.
Oh. Everybody, this is our last one. Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy New Year. We don't have an extra show. We'll be back in the new year. Actually, what is the date? Let me see.
I think it's in January.
It will be January 7th, which is usually right. That works out like every year to be right around there. Oh, no, it'll be the 9th. January 9th will be our first week back. So everybody, please enjoy your holidays. Happy New Year. We're very excited for 2025. We'll be here. We'll be here for the whole year. Spicy, by the way, just had, for those seeing it, shoulder surgery. So there he is.
No one even knew. I think we would have gotten away with that. I don't even know. I have, today's the first day I'm like up and about.
Yeah, he got bicep implants. We're very excited for the unveiling.
And a reduction.
Yeah. A right chest reduction, pectoral reduction, and a bicep implant. So we're very excited.
Surgery sucks, man. Yeah, I had that this week. So.
Also, I asked Grok, by the way, what superhero I would be.
Oh, yeah.
Spider-Man. It made me Spider-Man.
Do you know what's funny about that? Can I just say?
Say it.
I think it was 4 years ago on this show. You said Spider-Man was a pussy and that he was the most emo character in any comic book.
Emo?
It was
Yeah.
probably because it was like
Did
when
I just
And you were
watch
trying
the-
to offend me because
Did I just watch the skateboard?
Yeah, probably.
Spider-Man that was
if
emo.
no, you just said in general, Spider-Man is, and what's funny is because I think you specifically said that because I said he was on my top 3, usually my number 1 favorite superhero. If you look above in the background, I have one right here, and I have my comic books up there, and Spider-Man takes 2 spots on my wall. And that makes me happy that Grok has now considered you Spider-Man.
Oh, let me see. There we go. What movie? Oh, what movie character am I and why? You seem to resonate with the character Peter Parker.
And you could tell that David is now like, oh, shoot. Kind of, it messed with
Now
me a
listen,
little
Spider-Man was a pussy
bit. No, he was not.
until he matched up with my personality. Okay, and now he's a badass.
Dude, he is so great.
For instance,
There's-
just like me, Spider-Man has a sense of responsibility, a
He does.
frustration with injustice.
Who doesn't?
He's more tech savvy. He's
he's very tech savvy.
he's resilient, and he has humor in adversity,
Okay.
just like Peter Parker.
Okay. Oh, man, I want to talk about this stuff now, but I know it's over an hour. Which, by the way, the new Superman, we were talking about before the show.
Oh,
this new
looks good. Yeah,
Superman
someone in
trailer
chat mentioned it.
just came out.
Oh, T-Buck says he sucks at Marvel Rivals, though. Jordan, you were talking about how great
I
Marvel
actually
Rivals
really
is.
like Marvel Rivals a lot. I wasn't like super keen on playing it, and then actually Barbara Blake suggested it to me, and I was like, okay. And then like you see all these streamers playing it. It's actually really good.
I know. People are saying it's a lot of fun. How are
Yeah.
they? I have not gotten into this at all.
It's
There are too many
really,
games.
really fun.
How are they doing like power levels? Like how does
what
it?
do you mean?
Well, I mean, when you have the Hulk come in, I mean, fair,
Well, it's just a hero shooter, right? So like,
but I mean, like,
there's probably some unbalance in places, but
that's what I'm saying. Like,
but like
when the Hulk steps into the
Galactus
scene,
doesn't come in and like destroy the whole map.
that's what I'm saying.
Well, actually, I don't even think he's in the game, but
That's what I'm saying. Like, when you have a plethora of different varying power levels, how do you balance a game if you are trying
Hulk's
to
a
stay?
tank, I think.
What's that?
Hulk's a tank, I think.
I would assume.
Yeah, he's a tank. Thor's a tank too. Thor's a freaking hard tank.
Okay, I'm just saying. How do you take it? How do you do this? How do you take? Like, it's not obviously it's not lore accurate. This is what I'm saying.
T-Buck says there's a lot of balancing needed, but man, it's fun.
Man, it's fun. So
Maybe the
Spider-Man,
Hulk needs to be
Spider-Man
balanced.
sucks in Marvel Rivals. No wonder David's Spider-Man then.
I mean, he is a pussy.
Venom's fun though.
Are you trying to? You're trying to.
Venom-
I'm gonna
Venom-
have this right hook.
Hey,
right
Venom's
here.
really fun though.
Venom.
Yeah, and he can whip like Spider-Man.
Is Carnage in it?
No. You know who I've been playing? Cloak and Dagger.
I know why.
Oh, everyone knows why.
Because you're a simp
No, because it's
for
like
Cloak and Dagger.
yeah, dude. Oh,
You are a
dude.
simp,
The like okay, so they went with
You are
like
simping for
they went
Cloak
with like a classic, like a golden era comic book style.
That's
heroes.
so awesome.
So like when you play Captain America, you're like a jack.
I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna pull up gameplay.
Captain America's like so like
David, we're not stopping yet.
you look at the Captain America model and you're like, yeah, I'm an American.
Okay. Marvel. Let me.
But no, the game is really fun. It's free to play.
I know a lot of people. I've seen a lot of positive things. I've not even watched it yet, though.
Oh, we got Spider-Man.
I'm having a lot of fun with it. Like it's replaced Overwatch for me right now.
That's crazy to me. That's
Well, there's like little things that are cool, like the team up abilities that they have. Like I think I was playing Scarlet
This
Witch,
got
and then someone
Spider-Man
else
right
was
here.
playing Magneto. So he got like because if you pick certain, that's just the tutorial. It's gonna be really boring.
okay.
When you pick certain characters, they have
dude,
team
are
up.
we Iron
They have
Man
team
here?
up abilities that work with each other. Yeah, Iron Man's basically Farah.
That's funny. Wait, do you have to keep like pumping the rockets, or can you just?
No, he's up there.
He can just sit there and fly.
I'm pretty sure he can just sit there and fly.
Well, that's a tough.
Dude, and his ultimate is like,
shoot at. Wow.
Like Rocket Barrage.
yeah, no, his ultimate is like he shoots a big plasma cannon down.
Oh, that's cool.
Is this still the? I want to get like gameplay.
This is gameplay.
I mean, like real. Is this the
Yeah, there's a
tutorial?
match. Yeah, he's in the circle.
Oh,
right
he's
now.
in a match.
Yeah,
Okay.
like, see,
so
he's-
explain the objectives and everything. I've
It's
seen nothing on this.
literally Overwatch. They're playing Control right now.
Okay. So it's a ripoff of Overwatch, but not a ripoff because
It's good.
it's good.
There's Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch.
That's how you do
But
it.
I want to see different characters though.
Scarlet
Want me to
Witch
skip ahead?
is
Okay.
it was me and Barbara Blake playing, and then
Venom, yeah.
Dude, look how cool
See-
they look.
See, Venom, not a pussy.
Venom's a tank too. No, it's really
Venom
really good.
looks
There's the maps are destructible. It's certain areas of the maps are destructible, and there was one map where basically like a levolution happened. Almost.
Yeah,
and
that
it
is
was
cool.
Crazy.
The destructibility adds a lot.
Wait.
And then what's funny is if you play long enough, the map actually rebuilds itself, so you have to redestroy it.
How many characters are there?
A lot.
Let's fast forward
And it's
again. Let's see who else
6v6.
is because I'm
6v6.
Yeah, and you're not
it's Doctor Strange?
you're not locked.
Okay, here,
It's
I'm
not-
gonna pause the screen. So who do we have? We have Magneto's a
So
badass.
the-
And it's old Magneto. Like, this is awesome.
the top there. Those are all your tanks.
Okay.
T-Buck says I am Groot. Does that mean he is
Also
Groot?
a tank.
Or
And Rocket and Groot match up.
Yeah, look at this. Oh, it looks good.
Ooh, let's
The reason I like playing Cloak and Dagger because it's almost like a.
Oh, I know why you play Cloak and
Yeah, well,
Dagger.
everybody knows why. Cloak and Dagger is like it's a support. They're your supports down there. Cloak and Dagger are like
Star-Lord.
it's like a.
Star-Lord
It's,
seems like he would be lame.
Cloak and Dagger is like what's her name?
So of course he
Your
jumps into
Avity?
Star-Lord.
Tracer? Is Star-Lord like Tracer?
And I think and he has like a Reaper ult.
Okay. Wow. So they are...
I can see why everybody
There,
loves.
yeah, see that?
Ooh, look at that. Yeah, I see why everybody loves it. Loves
Well,
this
see,
game.
but
though,
that
'cause you
wasn't
get to
his ult,
play as
though,
your-
actually, so.
you get to play as your favorite characters. Like
Oh, yeah.
that's
It's
what
super
that's the
fun,
appeal
yeah.
here.
Well, and like the art
Who's the
style is
deve-
cool.
who's the
There's
developer?
Storm NetEase.
Wow.
Are they... where are they located?
China.
They're so this is a Chinese developer making this game.
Yeah, remember NetEase? Didn't they make Diablo Immortal for Blizzard?
Oh, man. So
Just
does
they know what they're doing.
Does this... am I going to lose a lot of money playing?
you're gonna
Is this
pay
going
to-
to make me uncomfortable
You're-
installing
you're
on my
gonna-
machine?
No, you're gonna pay to unlock all the characters. That's what you're gonna do.
No. All the characters are unlocked. The
Oh,
only thing you
boom.
pay for is skins, and that's why. And by the way, some of the
That's all
skins
you
are
need.
like, yeah, it's like, yep.
When he said golden era of comics, that's all you need.
Well, there's a lot of shorts on YouTube, basically
Of the
showing
Marvel
s-
skins?
of showing some of the
Oh,
skins,
raccoon.
and everybody goes, yeah, I'm buying that.
I'm going to skip ahead. So this is that like the load? Okay, here we go.
Like
So that's Widow.
Yeah.
She has a sniper.
So she's
She's
I
Kinda
guess
like
that
Widow.
makes sense. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Well then, so
Let's
is
look up
she
skins. Type in
So
skins.
that's skins.
yeah,
Okay.
Marvel
So
Rivals
is
skins.
Hawkeye like
he's literally Hanzo.
Hanzo,
Yeah.
and this is Widow, which is funny because it's Widow.
I mean, they have their own flair to them, but like for example, what's Uravity's name in Juno? Juno. So like Cloak. The reason I like Cloak and Dagger is because it's almost like a mix between Juno and Moira.
wow.
T-Buck says Black Widow has a sniper and a dump truck.
Do you know what this game does right? Well, it's going to be interesting because it's third person.
Yeah,
Which-
that's why you're gonna buy the skins more.
Overwatch, I like that it's first person for gameplay, but I think Overwatch made a miss when it came to skins and making money and stuff like that because third person, you like to see what you pay for. You know, when it comes to skins. yeah.
Well, but yeah, I mean, you're seeing your character. Like this is.
Yeah, well, and the reason we're in a scope here is because we're on a sniper, and that exists in Overwatch as well. So it is first person here, but
Who's that moron?
What?
Probably on my team. Yeah, I was just standing there while he got
What,
sniped
do
in
you
the
know
head.
what's sad about this? Where do you play on? Do you play on PC or are you on
Right now I'm playing on Xbox.
Xbox?
So everything is cross-platform, cross-play on consoles. You can opt out to only play with consoles. The only thing that's not there right now that they said they are working is cross-save progression.
Ooh, who was that just came rocked her?
Is that what's his can't remember his name. What's sad is I can't play games right now because I don't have my arm for like a month.
We could get you the adaptive controller.
That's what I said, yeah.
But isn't that expensive? And I don't want to get it just for a month.
You can use it for other stuff.
What if it becomes your main controller?
That would be freaking awesome. I want to show up to a LAN party rocking
With
something
the setup,
huge. Yeah.
like foot pedals and everything.
No, that's what's nice about Metaphor is until I'm in like overworld combat, I can play all on my left
Well, yeah,
hand.
turn base is going to be your
My bread and butter.
your baby.
Storm is cool. She has kind of like a Lucio type thing where she can make people go faster.
Okay, I'm gonna.
But yeah,
I've
David,
seen
you
this
could look at all the
gameplay.
skins.
You could like T-Rex it though, Mark, like this.
Oh, here's Hulk. Oh,
With a controller, right? T-Rex it on your like this.
it's harder than you think. The problem is because the thumb.
Oh, you have like a ball to grab.
Yeah, it's hard. 2 days after surgery is pretty tough, man. It's pretty tough.
All right, guys, I gotta go.
You gotta go. Hey, it's been a good year though, man.
It has been a good year, yeah. And thank you to everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for hanging out. We love hanging out with you guys. So we're excited for next year. Happy New Year. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Enjoy yourselves. Be safe. We'll be back January 9th.
January 9th is the day.
We'll be back here simping
Do not change our brand
for Xbox.
to the X1 Simps.
No, I'm just going to say, what up, simps? Welcome to the show. Have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye.
So hard to find a good